But now we'll move on to a presentation from the president of the Slovak Chess Federation, Martin Huber. They were one of our first two project countries last year, and you'll hear from the other one later on. Martin?
I will share very practical experiences of the Slovak Chess Federation after the first year of implementation of chess in schools in Slovakia. My name is Martin Huber and I'm a president of the Slovak Chess Federation. Before starting, I would like to thank two persons. It's very difficult to thank to everybody because there are many people involved in this project, and without people the project wouldn't be successful. Of course, I would like to thank to FIDE and Kirsan Ilyuzhinov for supporting the project, and especially the project in Slovakia. And I would say that without Ali Jazyci there would have not been any chess in school project in Slovakia, because he convinced me with his enthusiasm and his open communication, and we discussed a lot, and and we started to implement. So I will be very practical, pragmatic, and I hope that you will ask some questions afterwards. So very briefly, Slovakia has about 5 million people, EU member state, euro currency with its strengths and weaknesses at the moment, web page about almost 7,000 members of the federation, active members 4,120, so we are one of the biggest in this sense in FIDE, 10 GMs. On our territory were born great players like Richard Reti, Julius Breyer, Ignác Koliš in the past. At the moment, chess professionals or grandmasters, usually they don't have just the profession of chess. All of top players in Slovakia graduated from some universities. They are lawyers, they are mathematicians or doctors, and they are also playing chess. We have very good network of clubs, 235, and annual budget is quite low, you see, about something above 135,000 euros. Most of costs are covered by parents, by clubs. These costs are not included in this, and also functionaries are working for free. So this is the situation. Yeah? I would like to go back to the previous discussion, because there was a discussion whether chess is a sport or not, and I fully agree what has Susan Polgard has told, because I don't like to spend a lot of time with footballers or basketball players to discuss, to quarrel whether chess is sport or not. So we are using at the moment the slogan in Slovakia that chess is more than sport. So, and this is very tricky when you discuss with some football functionary. So you just say, okay, we expect you kicking the ball. I like football personally, but chess is something, you know, we have something more artistic, scientific, and a sport at the same time. So we are not in a conflict with sport in this sense. One of our volunteers invented this logo. You see chess in schools in Slovakia. I'm happy that I think that our Slovenian friends are using also this logo. I am not going to spend a lot of time on theory. Of course, we had to invent or to think about some unique selling points of chess, why chess should be promoted in schools. And I made at the beginning the same mistake as Ali. Ali mentioned that I was trying to sell chess through the top players, and because it's easier way. But at the end I found out that it was not possible to succeed, and we have to go through this hard-working process, and to start at the bottom and to go to schools, to parents, to kids, and then the chess could be more popular. We always say we are not going to educate grandmasters. We want to support more intelligent kids in the society. So this is this selling point we are This is the message we are passing to our clients. Our objective is, as I said, we started 1 year ago. This is the objective of the project, to teach as many children as possible to play chess and use chess as the learning tool. So, in fact, we want to improve their skills on mathematics, on reading, on communication, and so on, by learning chess. Of course, we have to motivate children for the meaningful use of their leisure time. This is, like in each European country, there are many leisure time possibilities for kids, so huge competition, so we have to be very clever to be successful in this. And of course, we want to increase the membership of Slovak Chess Federation, because the higher membership means higher income of fees, maybe higher public awareness and more sponsors and so on and so on. And of course, not to forget, we have to identify talented individuals, and if they are talented enough, to support them to become, for example, grandmasters and top players in the future. We would like to get to 300 primary schools. For your information, we have about 1,800 primary schools in the country. So I said, if we would get to 300 or 500, 300 is enough, so we can say that we will be successful. Educational system in Slovakia is very much decentralized. So we cannot go to the Minister of Education to convince him or her, and then he just orders to all schools to teach chess. This is not like that, because schools are owned by regions, by municipalities, so we have to actually visit, contact each school individual, and this is very much time-consuming process, and we have to contact. Therefore, we found out that it's not enough just to have the central project team, that we have to be more present in regions. I will go to that later. Chess, our aim is just chess to be an optional subject of the normal education. Kids are overloaded by many, I would say, stupid subjects and many information, and chess should be something joyful and funny for them, and we would like them to be more enthusiastic. We don't need kids just to sit at schools and being bored by chess. This is not our target. In the first year we planned to reach 100 elementary schools. We achieved this aim, and currently this project is implemented in about 150 schools in Slovakia. This is the team at the moment, just to support the importance of the project. So myself, I am trying to help the project to be successful. We have the team, we have methodology manager helping or supervising the preparation of textbooks. We have 3 regional managers, Western Slovakia, Central Slovakia, and Eastern Slovakia. We have tournament director, of course, because I forgot to mention, as we discussed with Kevin, that chess in schools is more complicated than I expected something easier. But this is like, we go to schools, but the kids then expect tournaments. They expect textbooks. They expect good trainers. They expect, some of them want to become world champions. So they expect some future for professionals in the country, and so on and so on. They want to be famous. So they are asking why chess is not popular. Why there is no article on newspaper on chess, and this kind of questions. So therefore, tournament director is very crucial. We have to give also the opportunity to kids to attend in scholastic chess tournaments, and of course administrative support. And we have a supervisory committee, very strict. Everything is transparent. Each euro is checked 3 times at least before it's spent. So this is what we offer to each school that joins our project. Maximum 15 chess sets, 1 magnetic demo board. These demo boards are very popular. Usually schools are not so much interested in chess sets, but they are more interested in these magnetic boards. Set of books with chess methodology. It's Chess School 1 from the authors, some promotional poster. Then we do for free trainings for teachers and trainers. We give them DVD with other useful information, and we give them even the bonus that is paid by the Federation, another book to teachers, first steps on the chessboard. So this is the material I was talking about. Another thing, we simply imported the stuff from FIDE, and then I found out that chess sets are considered in Slovakia as toys for small babies. Yeah. Therefore, somebody called, and immediately, it's checked by the public, so somebody called the state inspectors. They came and they found out that the material contains more phthalates than that it's possible to have for babies as toys. And we tried to explain them that this is not a toy, this is a school sport tool. Yeah? So they are not babies eating and licking the pieces and so on and so on. So, but it was not possible. So therefore, we had to take out thousands of boards from schools. Painful. We communicated with FIDE, and they said, "Okay, we will replace the board." So these are things that we didn't expect. Yeah. Also, I can expect that maybe in the future we will have difficulties with chess trainers or teachers, because they will have, in Ireland you have more, I think, stricter, for example. So they have to have some psychological tests that they are, suitable for working with kids and so on and so on. So we can expect this kind of troubles in the future too. So this is on the right you see the poster. It's your move for the new generation of sport heroes, and on the left you see the cover page of the textbook. It's the originals. One artist again draw this cover for free for us. This is the bonus book, First Steps on the Chessboard, that we are also giving to schools and to the teachers. Maybe some of you know, some of you don't, but the membership of the premium CIS member is worth of 10 euros. So we are, and this is actually the tricky point of the project, because at some point you have to ask the money from the kids or their parents. And for this, and we had last year problems that in fact, our membership fee for kids is 5 euros, and when we asked this 10 euros, so not everybody was willing to pay, because there was a difference of 5 euros, so of course, why should we pay the 5 euros? They get textbook, they get personal this plastic card, individual membership of the Slovak Chess Federation, and first transfer to any chess club is for free. Otherwise we collect some fees for these transfers. Connection to the website, regular support, newsletter is translated into Slovak, so they can benefit from some educational materials, information on chess, and they can participate in the youth chess tournaments. We call it Grand Prix.